All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most stacked weight divisions that there is in the sport of boxing, the 154-pound division, where my man Jermell Iron Man Charlo once again said he is very open to a fight with the young and up-and-coming phenom, former unified 147-pound champion, and I think he is currently the WBA interim world champion at 154 pounds after his win over Usima Lima in a one-sided mashing. Jermell said that he is willing to fight, and he explains why he believes that he will give Jaron a bunch of problems. But also, I want to talk about what's on the line for this fight if everything in boxing was fair, which is the Lineal world title at 154 pounds, if such a thing even exists. Because please remember that Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez is being marketed as the Lineal 140-pound championship. If that is the truth, then so is Jermell Charlo versus Jaron Ennis. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, your boy Jaron Ennis is being offered a shot at the 154-pound Lineal title. Wow, Fanon, you're saying the Lineal title. Who's the Lineal champion, and how could that possibly be? Well, I personally am not a fan of the Lineal title anymore. However, it is being used to market fights for Ring Magazine, who often conflate their rankings with the Lineal title. So when I heard Jermell Charlo calling out Jaron Ennis, I thought about the argument that people make about the Lineal title, and I thought to myself, wow, Jermell Charlo, according to the arguments that other people make, should be considered the Lineal champion at 154 pounds. And why is that? Because Jermell Charlo won all of the belts at 154 pounds when he beat Brian Castano to become the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. He then moved up to fight Canelo Alvarez. He did not win that fight, but he came back down to 154, or he says that he is coming back down and fighting at 154. Well, wouldn't that make him the Lineal champion? Because nobody beat him in the ring, did they? Isn't he the one, when he last 154-pound championship he had, all the belts were on the line? He was the Ring Magazine champion, right? So he had the ring and all 4 belts. Now, if Lineal is really something, that means that if Jaron Ennis goes and beats Jermell Charlo, even if there are no belts on the line at the time, and Jaron Ennis wins, that makes Jaron Ennis the Lineal 154-pound championship. Now, that is exactly what they're saying about Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez is considered by Ring Magazine as the champion because he beat the Lineal champion, or the Ring Magazine champion at the time, who was Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was only considered to be the Lineal because he became undisputed. He dropped almost all of his belts. The only belt he had at the time that he had fought Teofimo Lopez was the WBO belt, and Teofimo Lopez won that, but he didn't get any of the other belts. But since Josh Taylor did not lose those belts in the ring, people said, okay, well, he's still the Lineal champion. He's still the ring champion. Well, shouldn't that therefore be the case with Jermell Charlo as well? That if all Jaron has to do to be the man at 154 pounds is to beat Jermell, because that's what they're saying for Shakur, that Shakur Stevenson only has to beat Teofimo Lopez for him to be the man at 140, despite the fact that there's a bunch of other champions in that division, specifically Gary Antoine Russell, Africa Richardson Hitchens, and Sabril Matias out of Puerto Rico, right? They're all champions. That's the same thing going on at 154 pounds, where you have Bakram Murtazaliev, you got Sebastian Fundora, you got Xander Zayas, and you got Abbas Abrayu. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing Abbas's last name, who's the WBA champion, right? All of those guys are world champions, but none of them are the lineal champion. That is Jermell, because Jermell never lost the belt, just like it was Tio, because Josh Taylor never lost the belts when Tio beat him, right? So wouldn't you think that that would be a good move for Jermell Charlo? For Jermell Charlo and for Jaron Ennis. I love it. Now, as far as what Jermell Charlo said about the fight himself, he said, look, he believes that he will give Jaron Ennis all kind of problems. I have to admit, I don't see it, but I will tell you that I think it would be a terrific, terrific fight. Jermell Charlo is the best 154-pounder, and I love Jermell Charlo as a fighter. I just think that, hey, man, with the difficulties that Jermell had with Tony Harrison, and Tony Harrison outboxing him in some spots and, countering him and making him miss and making him pay, that you may see, more of that with a lot more heat coming at him out of Jaron Ennis. But, I'm really, really high on Jaron Ennis. I'm very, very high on Jermell Charlo. That is a fight that I would absolutely love to see be made. And I think that it could be made as long as Jermell Charlo is willing. I don't know if Jermell Charlo is going to be willing to go over to Matchroom with Eddie Hearn, or whether Eddie Hearn would bring them over to a fight on the PBC. I don't know, but the way that things are kind of laying themselves out, it doesn't seem like it would be a problem for Jermell to go over to a fight. But I think the fight between the two of them, the question would be, would it be in Philadelphia? Would it be in Texas, like Houston area? There's just a lot of different things that they could do with that fight that I think would be absolutely positively terrific. But I want to just let you know again, I am not a fan of the Lineal title and the Ring Magazine stuff, because these guys like to do a lot of marketing, and basically through their marketing allow people to skip over a lot of guys. So, don't get me wrong. I'm saying the same. I do believe that the guys, Jermell needs to fight guys like Bakram Murtazaliev, Sebastian Fundora, Xander Zayas, Abbas Abrayu, all of those guys who need to be, treated as champions. Don't get me wrong. And all these guys need to fight each other. I just find it a very convenient argument that is only made for selective fighters, and seemingly skip the minds of the same people that make the arguments when the facts align with people that they may not necessarily back that much, like a Jaron Ennis and a Jermell Charlo. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.